Students, today we are going to start a new chapter known as Permutations and Combinations. Permutations and combinations. Now, before we begin with this chapter, permutations and combinations, we are going to discuss one important principles that is known as the fundamental principle of counting. It is known to be the fundamental principle of counting. Now, in this fundamental principle of counting, there are two. One is addition and one is for subtraction. Now, let us suppose first as example there happens to be a football stadium. This is a football stadium which is having 4 entry doors. These are the 4 entry doors which I am going to denote it by E1, E2, E3, E4. Right? These are the 4 entry doors, and they happen to be 2 exit doors which I will be denoting it by EX1 and EX2. We are discussing about the principle of counting, and before I give you the fundamental principle of counting, I am giving you one simple example. This happens to be a football stadium, right? And in this football stadium there are 4 entry doors and 2 exit doors. There are 4 entry doors and 2 exit doors. Now, in how many ways can you enter and exit? Right? In how many ways can you? I am giving you can enter and exit the football stadium. Directly you cannot exit. First you have to enter. So, you can enter, you are free to enter through any one of these 4 entry gates, that is through any one of these E1, E2, E3 and E4. And after you enter, that is entry can be done in 4 ways. You can choose any one of the ways. Total number of ways that you can make the entry is through 4 ways. And after you enter the football stadium, watch the football game, and after the football game gets over, you can exit through any one of these 2 exit gates. So exit can be done in 2 ways. So totally the total entry and exit, you can do it in 4 into 2 ways. That is, totally you can enter the football stadium and exit the football stadium in 8 ways. And entry, if you enter through, why this is 4 into 2 ways, that I will explain. If you enter through E1, you can exit through any one of these 2. If you enter through E2, also you can exit through any one of these 2. If you enter through E3, you can exit through any one of these 2 ways. And if you enter through E4, you can exit through any one of these 2 ways. That is, entering is one event and exiting is another event. And exiting event is going to happen only after entry event is been made. Only after entry event is been made. This is the basis for what I am going to give you as the fundamental principle of counting for multiplication. That is, if any event, so entering the football stadium is one event. If an event occurs in m ways, and after this event another event occurs in n ways, after this event happens, then together these two events can occur in m into n ways. This is known as the multiplication rule. This is known to be the multiplication rule for counting. This is known as the multiplication rule for counting. Let me take another example for addition. Suppose there are 4 mathematics lecturers, right, and there are 3 classrooms, then the classrooms say A, B and C. Then in how many ways can the mathematics lecturers go? The first mathematics lecturer can choose any one of the 3 classes, so it is 3. And after this mathematics lecturer 1 has chosen the class, there are 3 mathematics lecturers which are left, and there are 2 classrooms which are left. Suppose he chooses the class A. Then out of these remaining 2 classrooms, 3, the second can choose in 2 ways. So it is 3 plus 2. And similarly, the third one can choose 1. And the next mathematics lecturer takes the break. So it can be chosen in this number of ways they can go. That is 6 ways they can make the class. This is addition. Because after this event there will be no other event after this event. But here after this event there is another event. There happens to be another event. So if an event occurs in m ways, another event which is independent of this occurs in n ways, then the total number of events is m plus n. And here if the event 2 occurs which is dependent on m, right, then it can occur in m into n ways. So this is the difference between the fundamental principles for multiplication and the fundamental principles for addition. So based on these we are going to select the permutations and combinations. Now what are these permutations and combinations? So here in the textbook they have given the fundamental principles of counting, which I am going to tell you. The fundamental principles of counting. The fundamental principles of counting. Here you can see the fundamental principles of counting, and this is what they have given the possibilities here. Here it is after first event and second event. Here you can have a look. Here he has given very big one. So in brief I have given you. Here you can see in page number 136, right, in page number